we'd expect. Second map did a little bit better, 20 and 19, but a 20 and 19 performance as well for Boaster. That was a close loss, 13-10 on Bind. But interesting to see Chiwawa struggle after he was really lights out, at least in that first map, especially given that it was on Haven that he did really well, and then on Haven he struggled here against Team Draken. And now we go back to Haven yet again. We'll see if Chiwawa matches the performance from the initial game, or if it's going to be something else coming in altogether.
Starting us off already, it's CREA and Co. pushing in towards B. Team ZeratoR have to be feeling the pressure. You know, a lot of repercussions here for them if they do not come out on top here in the map ahead. The best of 3 maps ahead. And an early pick from Team Mixwell opens up the round ever so slightly for them. They're going to be looking towards A. They're going to start their funnel through. The paranoia puts ZeratoR in a difficult position, but the cyber cage will at least keep him alive. But for how long as CREA takes him down? Now they'll get that spike down. ZeratoR now, the team, they have to retake the site.
And CREA just went right into the cyber cage and shot him in the back of the head. There's going to be Jbzz at least taking down the Omen. It looks like we have a swap here in character roles, as we do have Rhyme now switching over from the Omen to the Reyna. We talked about that coming in, more of a hardlock Reyna, traditionally speaking. Rhyme peeks under hell. There's no one present. Jbzz going to jump out, and it's now down to 1. It's davidp who manages to backstab the whole squad. No one saw it coming. davidp, the snake in the tall grass, as Team Mixwell steals away what should have been a pissed around victory for ZeratoR.
You hate to see it. If you're a ZeratoR fan, you're sitting there scratching your head. What went wrong? Well, davidp is what went wrong. 3 kills for him to start off the half here, and already a Vandal and some heavy armor in tow. We gotta imagine that he's got some utility. Yes, he does. No barrier orb, but a slow orb will at least give him something to work with. And for the side of Team ZeratoR, gonna play a little bit more aggressively, considering they don't really have a whole lot to lose, especially with the weaponry that they have in tow. A very interesting gun skin from Mixwell there. And now they're setting up here towards C. ZeratoR kind of knows something's up. There's 3 on the other side, and they'll start that push in. A spray down from davidp won't connect with anyone. And now they'll back away.
CREA pinging his team, letting him know there's players in these positions, trying to long-range shot with the Ghost, doing great damage, but no finishing blows. It's actually Fatinho who shows up and delivers some of that support. The slow orb is down, trying to keep them at least further away from the site. But Mixwell, already on A, is going to be calling things out to the team. There is a cam there for Cypher, spotting things out. Mixwell hears it, but they don't know that he's here. Mixwell has managed to sneak all the way through and actually get up into heaven too, which is huge. Mixwell will clear out the entire site, let them know nothing is here. They've got full site control, and the Cypher has no idea this player is here. And as a result, the Sage going to get caught off guard by a blindside shot now.
Yeah, still, that spike, of course, will go down, and Team ZeratoR trying to find their way back over towards A. It's 3 members strong, but for how long is the question. The race player trying to play through. Finds himself on the other side of some return fire from Mixwell, playing for some distance as well from the shorty. Lands him that kill, and now 2 members left. It's Boaster and the Cypher playing on the opposite side, trying to work his way through Banana or Sewers potentially. Not really sure they're going to come out here on top, as Mixwell already takes down Boaster, and it's all up to one last final member, ZeratoR. He gets pinned down by Fatinho and CREA. Now 2 quick rounds here from Mixwell. Moving on to the first full buy for Team ZeratoR. We'll see if they're able to keep things a little bit more competitive against this Mixwell roster.
Again, so many things in the balance right now in the shuffle, depending on the outcome of this series. Team ZeratoR started out so good against Team Arch, and a big part of that was Boaster and Chiwawa. Chiwawa has since cooled off in the remaining maps and series they've played, but Boaster has stayed strong in that op role. We'll see if that's going to continue here on Haven. As you can see, the op over on the C site in the hands of Boaster as the Jet. An initial shot was taken, and then Boaster, I believe, just had to get out of position as shots were heading back in that direction. Rhyme playing aggro in mid now has to retreat to the cubby and might get stuck in this position as well. Spending a little bit too much time here, goes for the Leer for the retreat, and will manage to escape back into the B site. No dart delivered there from the Owl drone that comes through. davidp trades positions with Chiwawa inside the dark cover, but it's Chiwawa who takes the Sage duel in favor of Team ZeratoR.
Now going to be trying to make his way up onto the box. CREA realizes that smoke did not make its way up onto Tino with the cross. Going to take one. Chiwawa there to answer back. Chiwawa with 3 on the round. Down to 2 here for Team Mixwell. Still going to try to push in towards this B site, but it is Team ZeratoR that defend it with honor. And now giving them a round back on the board. A round we expect them to win, and now Team Mixwell, it will struggle ever so slightly for the economy that they're going to try to put the weapons together as best as possible. It's likely not going to be the most optimal buy for them, but nevertheless, they will have some assault rifles and even an operator in play on Mixwell. Let's see if that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, or if Team ZeratoR will be able to defend yet another round against this team.
Mixwell, I like the move, the tail end to get into position. Nice shot on a Chiwawa, and there it is. Mixwell and his team do what they've done all tournament long. Early advantages gobbled up. The cam is going to spot 2 players over on long. There is a cyber cage down from ZeratoR, but as soon as ZeratoR tries to make any action, it just completely falls apart. Yet again, we see Mixwell stomp over the opposition, making it look easy as Boaster is left alone in a 1-on-5.
He's got the operator in play, but unfortunately a mountain to climb, and he doesn't have a Sherpa to lead him the way to victory. Likely going to be another round here for Team Mixwell. The spike goes down, and that's all that Boaster needs to know. At this point, looking probably for exit frags. You know, for Team ZeratoR, we saw them have a standout performance in the first best of 3 of the day, which was really only 2 maps. So far, not a really good look to this first half, but was still with plenty of rounds left to go. Team ZeratoR can definitely turn things back around, but Mixwell, I feel like they're very, very confident coming into this map.
Boaster somehow has managed to hold on to this operator in spawn, just keeping their eyes on both sides of a likely push. And there you go. That's the first kill, so that's the indication of location, and Mixwell quickly triangulates where he's going to be hiding, gets the scope ready, and delivers. So no op being brought into the next round, no save coming in for Team ZeratoR, who loses another one early on here to Team Mixwell. Again, it is early, so there's still opportunity for ZeratoR to get into the game, but it's the way the rounds are being won that is concerning. It's the way that Mixwell's team is easily just bulldozing their competition. You see Mixwell currently 5-2 with the operator, and that could potentially be a trend if Boaster isn't able to get the best of him in some of these duels.
Yeah, but Boaster, without the op, lands a Vandal headshot onto Mixwell, sends a message, and his regards as well, to the op that is now down. Likely picked up from another member, probably the Cypher player picking that one up. Now that'll open up the round ever so slightly. You don't have their confident player in Mixwell. Rhyme as well taking down CREA. Things are looking already better than rounds previous. davidp on the long con, lurking play, makes his way up into heaven. Going to find himself a Cypher on the opposite side who's looking in a camera. Baby, show me the money. Come on, dude. Just backstab. Just give. Yes, yes. Take out the knife. Right click, left click, whatever your poison. Bang! Takes him down. ZeratoR left wondering how on earth did that happen, and davidp with the second frag. That might open up the round.
davidp has now found 3. The slice to the spine was what started it all. davidp has now found 4. He wants the ace, and you know it. He's been close several times, but it looks like it might just get stolen away. Nope, there's the spot. They know that Rhyme is coming in. The shock dart's going down. davidp even tries to wall his teammate off to prevent the ace from being stolen. It's not going to happen. Rhyme able to use Reyna to beat him out in that one-on-one. It's now a 1-on-2 here. davidp has done all the legwork, and you can see Rhyme is realizing that this is over. Team ZeratoR are going to lose another one to Team Mixwell, and again, davidp delivers with a strong 4K. I believe we saw 2 in that last series. I think it was the second map, davidp found a 4-kill round, single-handedly taking rounds, putting the team on his back and carrying them to victory.
You know, we saw early on our predictions were that Chiwawa was going to make a splash, and so far it's been a little bit of a inkling of rain in this upcoming, map. Having a look at the slice to the spine, as you've dubbed it, kill after kill, davidp shows us why He may be one of the best Valorant players here in Europe. Shot after shot, just lines him up and knocks him down. Makes it look easy. I wish I could play Sage like that. Unfortunately, I'm stuck as a Brimstone player for the rest of my life. Now moving on to the next round. It is 1-4 Team Mixwell. They're in the driver's seat. Hand on the wheel, and Mixwell says, I'm going to keep that cement brick on the gas pedal too.
Boaster's like, hey, you know, I get it, you have an up, but I've got knives. And Mixwell says, well, I have those too. And if we're going to get into a knife duel, we better both be bringing a knife into it. Boaster swaps out to the rifle, and that's going to be the end of Boaster's rampage. Both Jets are the ones that brought it down to this point, but it falls onto 2, 1 on each side. Fatinho versus the Cypher. You got ZeratoR, who's got only a Sheriff coming in on the flank. Does Fatinho prepare for this? He's watching, but he's not looking towards the window. It's a silent drop coming in. The timing works out nicely for Fatinho, who actually catches one to the chest and gets dropped down to 33 HP. But it's the first round coming in successful for Team ZeratoR.
And an operator back into play, likely going over to the man, the myth, the Mixwell. Oof, you hate to see it. You knock down the economy ever so slightly, but still an operator is an expensive purchase. And the fact that it makes its way over to the next round, that's got to, you know, feel pretty good for the side of Team Mixwell.
Also,
yeah.
I misspoke. I said first round for ZeratoR. I'm brain dead. I was talking about a round for Mixwell.
You need a Red Bull in your system.
I do. You know what? I need to top off. I'm a little tired. Hold on. Should I audibly drink it into the mic?
Some ASMR? Do we need some? Oh,
there you
yeah,
go.
There we go. There we go. Oh, nice stop to the showstopper there. Mixwell finds one. ZeratoR will take down Orb. Mixwell looking for this A site, but ZeratoR already looking to try to defend valiantly. They'll have that spike picked up, but Mixwell finds himself a Boaster with the operator. Another one taken down as Chiwawa up from heaven. It is ZeratoR raining fire, but down to the 2v2. We've seen it down to this point before. From behind, it's actually also davidp. Sorry, let me correct myself. 3v2, make it a 3v1. And the last one standing is Rhyme. But does he have what it takes to clutch this out in the 1v2? The Lee are going to be coming out here to try to stop the Mixwell peak, and now ever so slightly inching his way forward, sees the gun on the other side, almost peeking full, and Mixwell with the 4K sends a message to davidp, says, you got one? I got one too.
Team ZeratoR have just not been able to really find that weakness. They got close at times. You saw that eco round almost work out off the back of Boaster's ult, getting aggressive in mid. Mixwell tried to do everything to make it impossible for them to win. Still came down to the 1v1, but it was his teammate who ended up clutching it out in that 1v1. Mixwell currently at the top, 11-4. Maybe he heard us talking about it, saying how he's been struggling. Mixwell goes for the double updraft to peek over top of the wall. Love the intel that comes in from Mixwell here as he pulls the knives out, still heading over towards the B site. Wants to just run in and try and slice away at his opposition. But it's actually going to be davidp who draws blood first. It's over on the C site, and the C site's been completely lost. Mixwell still just lurking, playing Ring Around the Rosie right now with Rhyme, who's only rocking a Sheriff on the site. The first shot comes out. It's not going to connect. Mixwell still has the knives out, and eventually everyone just swarms the site. They're like, hey, we might not win the round, but at least we killed Mixwell.
Yeah. I mean, if at that point that is your small victory, I guess you take it. I mean, considering how, you know, lopsided this first half has been going so far, you take every victory you can get. Fatinho, though, avenges Mixwell, taking down Chiwawa. davidp as well with the long con flank around. Takes one down, and it's up to 2 now here for Team ZeratoR. Don't think they have the weaponry to play, so they might pick up some off the ground and look to save. I do feel like that is what Rhyme is looking to do. Jbzz here with the Sheriff. Backs up into potentially davidp, who is now going to be finding himself Rhyme with the operator. And now they'll play Ring Around the Rosie once again. Rhyme seems to be a professional Ring Around the Rosie player, actually, as we found out against Mixwell there, but avoids davidp and lives to tell the tale.
It seems like Team Mixwell has really woken up after that first series and is just dominant right now. davidp, 10-4, just behind Mixwell. Is currently at 11-5. We'll see what they decide to do here, but it doesn't seem like it makes a difference which direction they go in. They go to that C site, they go to the A site. It seems like they get in with almost no resistance. The A site of all sites has actually been quite porous for Team ZeratoR. As again, Mixwell gets aggressive, charges up with that op. He's got to deal with Jbzz, who's over in the close corner. Does Mixwell anticipate this, or does the peek come through from Jbzz in time? It's all about timing right now. Jbzz on the right side. Does Mixwell go for it? Mixwell's starting to peek out. The barrel spotted. And there's the trade. So Mixwell does drop his teammate on site. Jbzz going to find one more onto Orb. The nade going down to try and buy some time. And even the bomb buddy going towards short. Satchel to push Jbzz over in towards short, but it's not going to work out. davidp's already up top. And the res coming in as well as CREA spots out the Sage and brings things down to 1. Again, it's going to be Rhyme here in a 1 versus many. At least CREA will be punished by Rhyme rocking the Reyna, but an 8-1 is likely incoming.
Not a great start here for Team ZeratoR. We'll see if they're able to kind of turn up the heat in the second half. So far, Team Mixwell is letting that gasoline fly and let that fire burn strong. 8 rounds for them, it's looking like at this point, but an early kill for Rhyme at least can knock down some of that economy, make things a little bit more evenly balanced. But, you know, if you're Team ZeratoR, I really wonder, what do you do against this Team Mixwell roster? Like, they are just pushing forward, as you said earlier on, bulldozing their competition. And I'm not really quite sure what is it that Team ZeratoR can do to try to squeeze out rounds. I mean, they're getting close, but it seems like close is not enough.
Well, the op is going to come out here for Boaster. Will we see an accurate match from Boaster's performance? Currently 6-8. Has delivered a few shots out of that op, but I mean, a big part of the problem, hasn't been able to keep it in his hands for too long. With the team consistently losing rounds and losing site control so easily, it's been difficult for Boaster to have too much of an impact. Here's the play we need to see, though, from Boaster. Get aggressive and take the fight straight to him. Wow. The satchel does not push him out far enough, so Jbzz quickly taken care of, as it's now a 4-on-3. Mixwell at a disadvantage, but we've seen it before, and it hasn't necessarily hurt them too much. The ult's going to get popped by Reyna. There's one Heaven. Whiffed shot from Mixwell, a rare miss. As they continue to try and sneak their way onto the site, it'll be Boaster now who wins the 1v1. The question we've been asking ourselves all game long, when they finally face, who is it that's going to be coming out victorious in those exchanges?
I mean, you still have the X factor. davidp very much so alive, carrying that spike over towards B potentially, but there's a couple of Cypher tripwires and cameras set up here to try to stop that push further. They'll be making their way through the doors now. There is only one on that C side. It is Rhyme, who is waiting on the opposite side. Lear going to be used here to try to stop that any potential pushes, but with 30 seconds left on the clock, they need to push and push somewhere soon. Rhyme, unfortunately, gives up control. Now they'll have control of the C site around the corner. That's going to be Rhyme that now is untargetable in the barrier orb to give davidp some space. He's going to see that there's a couple in and around every nook and cranny on the site. They make their way back over to C in time. Team ZeratoR staying alive, putting round number 2 on the board.
Little rounds here and there. Little tastes of success coming in for Team ZeratoR. A nibble. As again, Boaster was kind of the kingpin on the round there with that operator. Got aggressive, dropped the one early, and then, most importantly, took Mixwell out of the equation. The deep wall coming in over towards short will prevent them from gaining access to garage early. They'll have to detonate that ice by just blowing it to pieces. But they've managed to sneak past it after the early damage dealt to the wall. So they blew it apart quite quickly, and they're trying to work towards the C site. You've got Mixwell already up inside garage window. There's a jet right around the corner with the off, though. That's Boaster, and a nice shot from Boaster and a follow-up move. But Orb is there. well-delivered shot to the head of Boaster, but it still comes down to 2. And now, just 1, it's the Cypher. In a 1-on-4, Team ZeratoR have finally found some sort of solution, but just like that, it falls down quickly to 2. There's no spike control here for Orb, but it is within reach. He'll go back and grab it inside the cubby, and I like the play. He's going to run this one all the way over to the A site.
It's going to be very key for him to try to maneuver his way and anticipate where the opposition is going to land. They have a camera on A, so at the very bare minimum, if he does make his way through, he'll have to do it slowly to avoid any of the possibility for the camera to spot him out. So far, not in use. Checks it once. All good. And I feel like I would have made the play towards sewers. The likelihood of not being spotted out is reduced, considering how much cover there is. But sees the camera, or I'm not quite sure. Now it's there. Shots in. Now he has to get that spike down. He's got 10 seconds left. They'll get the call and the move back over towards the A site. The paint shells going to try to make it rain. Not going to connect with Orb quite yet. He's going to try to get into a great position, but is pushed back over towards Hell, considering the Roomba was trying to gather information. Now they'll divide and conquer. One up in heaven, drops down. The headshot's clean, but it's Jbzz that'll seal the deal with that last and final frag, putting Team ZeratoR up to 3 now. And like you said, round after round, slowly and surely, they are making a dent to Team Mixwell.
Yeah, I mean, they're keeping themselves alive, getting themselves in the game, starting to just wake up a little bit. Coming into the final round of the first half, yet again, the operator will be in Boaster's hands. Rhyme, who's only in this series switched over to the Reyna. We saw Rhyme rocking the Omen in the previous series, which was a bit of a surprise. They still almost lost this round. Orb did everything possible to try and win that one. Almost found the ace clutch. And it was, what, a 1-on-4? So it would have been an impressive round victory if it were possible. But now we come into this one. And again, Mixwell doesn't have the money for the operator, so Mixwell just wants to get aggro towards A. They're going to use the ult of the Omen to get in towards that A site. And it's CREA who's currently in hell, and Jbzz just does not see it coming, so they've lost the site. Boaster's been flushed out of position as the paranoia and the dark cover come in. The operator not having impact. Mixwell will take out Boaster as well, so down goes the operator player. ZeratoR's in heaven waiting for the clouds to fade as the jet smokes went soaring into that territory. There's the updraft as well, but the knives straight to the belly of ZeratoR just like that. It's now down to 2. Chiwawa has to retreat as the dart is delivered. And again, Mixwell continues with the knives. It's only one that remains. It's Rhyme popping the ult as Reyna going for the leer through, but it doesn't matter. Despite their struggles in the last few rounds, Mixwell ends the first half with a little cherry on top, 9-3.
This is where Team ZeratoR now have the opportunity to try to make their run back, but they've got 6 rounds to do so. If they win the first 2, it's at least a good sign. But for Team Mixwell, now swapping over to defense, we'll see how they play things out here. So far, running the Cypher and the Sage on towards A. Interesting to see 2 anchors hold the site together, but still can work quite well. And considering Team ZeratoR are kind of poised towards that side, I'm not really thinking they're going towards A. It's looking like a push in towards B. See how this pans out. It'll be the first pistol in the second half.
You better run, Sova.
It was a big pistol for Team ZeratoR. They desperately need to put their foot down and stop Mixwell from hitting double digits right off the bat. Mixwell right around the corner with the Ghost. His doppelganger, the Jet on the other side, Boaster, right there. A little bit of a whiff at first, but comes back together with the Ghost and actually finds a second as well. Rhyme there with the quick trade out, but they're losing bodies and they're losing them fast. Rhyme gets aggressive, pushes through into A-Link. They've managed to gather up all site control. Everyone's gone except for Rhyme. Rhyme taken care of in the end by 3 remaining players as Fatinho hits the final shot. 10-3 double digits for Team Mixwell.
Oh. Your team, ZeratoR, you're shaking in your boots. Having a quick look at the replay. Mixwell, unfortunately, could not line up the collateral as they were kind of bobbing and weaving. He's trying to get the crosshair towards their heads. Lands 2, of course, but now moving on to this next round at hand is Team ZeratoR going to try their hand once again towards B, and Mixwell will be the guardian, stopping them there, the gatekeeper of the site. But things have swapped over a little bit. Still the Cypher and Sage playing towards A, but they're playing a little bit more aggressively here. Mixwell again. Mixwell 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the save here for Team ZeratoR. One final member remain. And it's CREA taking down Jbzz. Mixwell sending a message. Don't mess with me, boys.
This is not looking good for Team ZeratoR, despite that early start in the day where they looked oh so good against Team Arch. We were ready to crown them. We were ready to say, these guys win already. Chiwawa is nuts. And so is Boaster. But then the second they hit some serious competition, they've crumbled a bit, losing to Team Draken. And now down 11-3 in map number 1 against Team Mixwell. Just not able to match the level of output coming in from the teams they're facing off against. davidp getting aggressive on short. Finds one. Mixwell's aggressive in mid, already pushed up in the window. They've got a site control, but there's one long that they're not accounting for. The Reyna Rhyme is actually all the way up on long. The spike is down in spawn, though. And you can see they're taking the exchanges, and now it's come down to Jbzz and that Reyna, and now just the Reyna. So Rhyme over on the A site on a long. They have no reason to expect someone to be here. There's no cameras there, but there are some tripwires and traps laid out by the Cypher. So Rhyme might have a kill coming in here that is unexpected, and there it is. Orb not expecting that position from Rhyme, but the spike is in a difficult spot to gather.
Slow Orb going to make things just that much more difficult. Rhyme trying to come out on top here, but the cards are stacked against him, and he's about to get dealt a full hand of knives. Mixwell taking him down. Getting a little bit of an update on the other side of the, not the bracket, but the other matches at hand. Team Draken won against Team Arch 13-1 on Ascent. What a performance that must have been from Team Draken, especially on Ascent when things probably swapped over to the second half. I wonder how that match panned out, but still, nevertheless, very, very interesting to see how Team Mixwell and Team Draken are just fighting for first place.
The op on long. It's Orb watching on the other side of that cyber cage, but everyone is going short. Boaster currently leading the charge. As they start to push their way in, the train's going to be cut into 2 pieces as the raise goes down. Mixwell spraying through. Orb is there as well, delivering with that operator. The Sheriff comes out, a full mag dumped there, but it doesn't matter. 13-3, Team Mixwell crushing Team ZeratoR in map number 1.
Yeah, at the end